Margie, and what I've got here is bacon. I have made bacon 2 different ways today. I made it in a frying pan, and I made it in my oven on a broiler pan. So I wanted to show you the differences in how it came out for me. This cooked for 20 minutes in the oven, and it came out just beautiful, just beautifully. It really did. It's very crispy, and I got a lot of oil from it. You probably can't see it. I'll show you all this later as I'm doing it. I'll show you how to do it. And then this one, I actually had to cut the pieces in half with the scissor because they fit better into my frying pan. I can get more in. I've already eaten one of these pieces, but I was able to cook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces on my broiler pan. And here I put them together. There's only 4 that were able to fit into my frying pan. So right there, that's one advantage. The bacon that I cooked in the frying pan, I cook it very slowly, so I was able to get a lot of fat out of that as well. But the bacon is not quite so crispy. It's almost as crispy. I mean, it's very good, actually. Very delicious bacon. So this one only took about 6 minutes to cook this way slowly, and this one took 20 minutes. But I had to watch this one, and so it's a little bit more, it demands more attention. So if you're having a big party or something, and you want to, having people over for breakfast, and you want to make a lot of bacon, and you have other things to do, in the oven works really well. So they both work well. They both have their advantages. So we're going to get started right away making I'll start this because it takes a little longer, and then we'll work on the one and making it in the frying pan. We're going to get started making the bacon in the oven by, I'm going to brush my broiler pan. If you have a broiler pan, came with your oven, go ahead and just brush it with a little bit of oil. If you have a metal cookie sheet, you can brush that also with a little bit of oil. A cooling rack for cookies. A wire cooling rack. You can do that. Then you can take your bacon, and I choose bacon. When I buy bacon, I look for bacon that has as much meat as I can laced in with the fat. I like it like that. Then I'm just going to lay some bacon in strips. Because the bacon is going to shrink up a lot, you can push it very close to one another. Push them very close. And then you get a little bit more on. Now my oven is preheated to 400, and I'm going to put this into the oven for about 20 minutes, depending on how you like your bacon. You can watch it. I just put the bacon into the oven, and I've been preheating this pan, nice heavy bottom pan, nice heavy bottom pan. I've been heating this on medium, and what I'm going to do the same thing again with this pan. I'm going to rub the bottom with a little bit of oil. And then I cut my strips of bacon in half because they're going to fit better in my pan. I like to do that. I just lay them down. We're going to see which one cooks faster, which one is better. But clearly I can't fit as much bacon into the pan as I could into the oven. I'm going to turn this down very low because I want to cook it very slowly. I want to render out the fat very, very slowly. I'm going to take a paper towel and tilt the pan and pull out some of the oil. So I'm not frying it. I'm really cooking it all the way through. I think when you fry it with inside all the fat, then you seal the fat into the bacon, and I don't want to do that. I want to draw all the fat out. So we'll cook it slowly. So this is cooking very slowly, in 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm going to just loosen it up a little bit. See what it looks like on the bottom. Just turn them over. Sometimes at this point what I'll do is I'll take a paper towel, hold the paper towel with something so you don't want to get too much fat on you because it's pretty hot. I'm going to tilt the pan. I'm just going to soak up some of this fat. You can, if there's a lot, like there was so much there, you can actually use a spoon. But I try to soak up most of the fat. So now all the fat is out, so it's not going to fry in the fat. It's still just going to cook and render out more fat. The more fat you can get out of it, the less fat you're eating. And I have it on not quite low, but in between low and medium low, and just let that cook until you're ready. You know, I mean, that's actually cooked. I might just cook it a little teeny bit more because bacon, of course, you have to cook it all the way through, but when it gets to this point, it's almost a matter of taste, to how you like it. And honestly, this bacon is done. The other bacon that's in the oven right now still has another 12 minutes. So if you're just making a little bit of bacon, you certainly don't really need to cook it in the oven. So when you're all done with the bacon, and you're going to want to drain it, just taking a plate, some paper towels on it. And I think this bacon is perfect for how I like it. I'm going to go ahead and take it out, and I'm going to just place it on paper towels. Another thing that I'll do sometimes, so I put it on the paper towel, I'll take another paper towel, press it down on top of it, just to pull off a little bit more fat. It makes it a little more crispy. So there's your bacon, and this bacon only took probably about 8 minutes to cook, and the other bacon is still in the oven. This is a small tip for people who build fires using the chimney that I just had a picture of. What you want to do is take this and put it in the bottom of your chimney, and then put some newspaper in like you normally do if you want, and then put the charcoal on top, and this will burn for a long time because it's oil. But the reason it does work really well actually for making your charcoal hot, but it does change the flavor of your charcoal. It will give it a more smoky flavor. So it was so funny because I was doing this and everybody was saying your chicken like has this really smoky flavor, and people weren't actually really liking it. But it does. So in other words, what you can do is you can actually saturate a paper towel with regular oil, is my point. Or if you like smoky flavor, you can use that. This is what the bacon that's in the oven looks like at this point. It's getting there, probably halfway. I've just taken this out of the oven, and the bacon looks gorgeous. It really does. It did take almost a full 20 minutes at 400 degrees in the preheated oven, and the bacon is actually, it's very, very nice. It didn't hardly even, well, obviously it shrank. It shrank quite a bit. It shrank probably a third, and it does look very crispy, and I didn't have to think about it. It really just got done all by itself, and that's very nice. Plus I've got so much more bacon than the bacon I made in the pan. Now let's see if I can take the top part off so we can see how much fat is left in the bottom. That's why it's nice to use this. It's very hot. Well, let's see. So there's our bacon. see how much oil we have. Quite a bit. Can you see all the oil there? So this is a very nice way to do it.